Look, I'm a huge PRX fan, alright? I've been to every watch party this year. Woke up at 3 AM for every game in Champions, and I have 2 Paper X jerseys sitting in the back of my closet, so this video is particularly hard to make, but we really have to ask the question, where does Paper X go from here? Look, other teams like Fnatic, DRX, Lau, they all have the luxury of going, alright, so we didn't do great this tournament, but with a few tweaks and changes here and there, we can make another run next year. But not Paper X. Paper X is going to change drastically in the next coming months, like it or not. And also Team Liquid, Nervi, Energy, Cruise, T1, Zeta, Giants, NRG, but they don't really matter right now. Let's start with Benkai and Jinggg. Benkai has become a free agent and is officially off the roster of Paper X, so any hope of replacing Jingg's spot with him is pretty much gone at this point. But a lot of people have already speculated this since Paper X works a lot better without IGL, so let's move on to something a lot more pressing. Jinggg is not coming back. Alright, I love to be wrong about this, but realistically, Jinggg played his last game for Paper X in the Grand Finals. There are a lot of mixed reactions with news sites saying he's retired and Jinggg himself confirming that he might be back if he isn't bad at the end of his military service, but most rumors in the Singaporean circuit have pointed towards him going to university after the military. Jinggg is from a very prestigious schooling background here in Singapore, and it'd probably be the best career choice for him to continue with a big degree instead of playing video games until he's 30. On top of that, there are a lot of rumors that he's managed to get a scholarship to the university in the UK, which would pretty much seal his retirement. So now that we've locked out Benkai and Jinggg, who's gonna fill out his spot? Well, the number one prospect right now is free agent Egoist. Before Jinggg, Benkai and Juicy, the best player in Singapore and possibly even Southeast Asia was Egoist, an incredibly talented Sentinel player who had to leave in 2021 for the exact same reason Jinggg is leaving us now, the army. But it's been 2 years since then, and Egoist is back. In fact, he even used to play for Paper X. Now, we don't have that much data on how good a player he is right now, but from the series he's played in the Malaysia and Singapore circuit, his team would have already made Ascension and probably even Tier 1 Valorant if not for Bleed, which is already a Tier 1 team with Juicy and Scary. Now, he wasn't great during the tournament Grand Finals, and he probably won't be able to compensate for the firepower that Jinggg brought, but he is still incredibly consistent and able to pop off when needed most. Now, he does play the Sentinel role, meaning it's most likely Paper X is going to run a 1 duelist composition from now on, with something playing Raze, or Forsaken is getting bumped back to the duelist position. Now, me personally, I'd rather the first option because something used to play Raze a lot on Sengoku Gaming, his previous team, and was brought in the first place as a Raze replacement for Jinggg, so he'd make a lot more sense as a sole duelist rather than taking Forsaken out of a comfortable flex position that he's been thriving at during Masters and Champions. Also, we saw what happened when Forsaken was forced to play a duelist in a full-strength PRX comp, and it was not pretty. Now, this isn't confirmed, right? The biggest issue with all of this is that Paper X and Bleed are both reportedly fighting to sign Egoist, which could be a huge challenge to Paper X because Bleed is a much richer company that could probably offer Egoist a larger contract over Paper X's. So in the end, it might be up to Egoist to decide between better odds at a championship or a bigger bag. Now again, these are all speculation and my own theory, so take it with a grain of salt. But if Egoist really decides against signing with Paper X, the other prospects that we know of right now are the likes of Monyet, a duelist for the former Global Esports, Xgeared, who's Forsaken's older brother and a legend in the CS Pro scene, and someone who's been playing a lot of ranked with something recently, or maybe even Ye, but that's just because he's unemployed right now. With that being said, there is still one bit of uncertainty left over, because assuming that Paper X keeps Forsaken, Devi, and Mindfreak at its core, because they've been the heart and soul of the team for so long and it would be a waste to let go, is something really tied to Paper X. About a week ago, Ilya something Petrov, right? He revealed in an interview that he would be open to playing Valorant in other regions like NA and China, not EMEA, he specifically stated that, in a couple years if something big happened. Now obviously, this can be taken as banter, but as an NBA fan, whenever a superstar tends to falter in their commitment to the team, it's a telltale sign of a potential exit. Now, I don't blame something for this though, because if Paper X does really badly for the next 2 years without Jinggg, and we've continued to fail to win championships, it's really Something's decision to join another team. Now, I wouldn't worry too much right now, because Something looks like he's adjusting incredibly well with Paper X and having a lot of fun here, but the reality of Something leaving could become very real. And even though it won't be happening soon, I think it's best for us to keep that in mind if we start to see Paper X bombing out of group stages or getting 13-0'd. In any case, the Paper X coaching staff and management didn't stumble upon this roster by luck. With a completely new org and very little funds, their scouting team managed to put together the roster we see today, and I fully believe in them being able to replicate what they've done with our 2023 Champions roster in the future, and rebuild what we keep losing to the Singaporean army. So, until Masters Madrid, I'm going to trust that Paper X has got this in the bag, and we'll be back to W Gaming in no time.